9:27 a.m., December 13, 1943. Second Lieutenant Philip Adair banks his Curtiss P-40 Warhawk over Assam, India. He is 23 years old. He has flown 43 combat missions with the 89th Fighter Squadron. His aircraft carries the name Lulu Belle and the number 44 on its nose. 650 caliber Browning machine guns sit synchronized through the propeller arc. Each gun holds 250 rounds. That gives him exactly 12 seconds of sustained fire before he is empty. Below him lies Dinjan Airfield. 14 C-47 transport planes sit loaded with gasoline drums, ammunition crates, and medical supplies. These aircraft form the backbone of the Hump airlift. They carry critical war material over the Himalayas to Chiang Kai-shek's forces in China. A field hospital treats 63 wounded soldiers on the east side of the field. Fuel stocks equal 11 days of Hump operations. Japanese intelligence knows all this. That is why they came today. 3 miles east and 3,000 feet below, 64 Japanese aircraft materialize through morning haze. 24 Mitsubishi Ki-21 Sally bombers fly in 3 tight formations of 8 aircraft each. 40 Nakajima Ki-43 Oscar fighters escort them in stepped layers above and below the bomber stream. The formation cruises at 240 miles per hour on a direct heading for Dinjan. Drop altitude will be 8,000 feet. Release point in 12 minutes. Adair keys his radio. Dinjan Tower, this is Blue 4. Enemy formation, 9 o'clock low, 3 miles. Bombers with fighter escort, estimate 60 aircraft. The tower operator's voice crackles back. Blue 4, Dinjan Tower, Roger, scramble all available. Nearest fighter's Jorhat 38 minutes out. 38 minutes. Adair runs the numbers in his head. Japanese bombers travel at 240 miles per hour. 12 minutes to target. Jorhat fighters fly at 320 miles per hour. 38 minutes minus travel time equals too late. The bombs fall before help arrives. He checks his fuel gauge. Full internal tanks. 180 gallons. 90 minutes at combat power. Ammunition counter reads full. Engine instruments normal. Manifold pressure at 36 inches. Coolant temperature 190 degrees Fahrenheit. Oil pressure 60 pounds per square inch. The Allison V1710-81 liquid-cooled V12 generates 1,240 horsepower at 3,000 RPM. Maximum speed 378 miles per hour below 12,000 feet. Standard Air Force doctrine states no fighter pilot attacks when outnumbered greater than 5 to 1. Adair faces 64 to 1 odds, 16 times beyond doctrine limits. 2 choices present themselves. First option, shadow the formation. Maintain visual contact at maximum range, radio position updates. Wait for Jorhat reinforcements. By then, Dinjan burns. 14 C-47s destroyed. Field hospital hit. 11 days of fuel gone. Hump operations crippled for weeks. Second option, attack alone. Disrupt bomber formation. Force evasive maneuvers. Break bombing accuracy. Buy time. Risk destruction against 40 superior fighters. Adair glances at Lulu Belle's instrument panel one last time. Fuel full. Guns hot. Engine ready. He advances the throttle to full military power. Manifold pressure climbs to 54 inches. The Allison responds instantly. 3,000 RPM. Engine note rises to a full-throated scream. He pulls the nose up into a climbing turn. Altitude advantage becomes his only edge. 4,000 feet above the formation now. Sun position behind him at 10 o'clock high. Japanese pilots focus forward on the target. They expect interceptors near Dinjan, not 20 miles out. Adair settles on attack plan. Primary target, lead bomber formation, 6 sallies and 2 Vs of 3 aircraft. Tight box formation optimizes bombing accuracy. Break that box first. Ignore fighters initially. Scatter bombers, destroy precision. Even scattered bombs hit jungle instead of runways. He rolls the aircraft inverted. -G presses him lightly into the seat. Nose drops toward the formation. Airspeed builds. 360 miles per hour. 370. The P-40N's dive limit is 410 miles per hour. Allison redline holds. Range closes. 2 miles, 1.5. Lead bombers still oblivious. Their attention remains fixed on Dinjan's layout 12 minutes ahead. Range 1,000 yards. Adair squeezes the trigger. 6 guns hammer as 1. Tracers arc toward the lead Sally's left wing. Rounds walk up from wing root to engine nacelle. The Mitsubishi Ha-101 14-cylinder radial engine erupts in orange flame. Black smoke streams from ruptured cowling. Lead bomber breaks left, formation dissolving behind it. Bombers jink violently. Their tight V shatters into individual aircraft taking evasive action. Adair pulls up hard. 7G crushes him into the seat. Blackout edges his vision. He rolls right and climbs. 40 Oscar fighters now dive from every angle. The Nakajima Ki-43 represents Japanese tactical perfection, powered by a Nakajima Ha-115 radial generating 1,150 horsepower. Top speed, 329 miles per hour. Turn radius 150 meters. Butterfly combat flaps bleed speed without stall. In 6 months, Oscars downed 63 Allied fighters over Burma. Adair's P-40 cannot match that turn rate. The heavier Warhawk bleeds energy faster in sustained turns. Standard tactic, never turn with Oscars. Use speed, hit and run, extend away, reset high, boom and zoom. He cannot extend away today. If he breaks contact, bombers reform. They reach drop point. Dinjan burns. He must stay engaged. Keep pressure on. Scatter formation. Accept fighter melee. First 4 Oscars close from his 10 o'clock high in finger 4 formation. Adair rolls left, pulls nose up, fires 2-second burst at leader. 50 caliber rounds miss high. Oscar breaks right. Wingman follows. Adair reverses, dives to maintain speed. 2 more Oscars dive from above, 400 yards. He climbs left, fires again, no hits. Ammunition counter drops to 800 rounds. 6 attacks remaining at current rate. Behind the fighters, Sally bombers attempt reform. 3 groups of 6 close back into formation. If they achieve bombing V again, precision returns. Adair rolls out, shoves throttle forward, dives toward right-hand bomber formation. 8 Oscars pursue. P-40 hits 405 miles per hour in dive. Oscars cannot match. Gap opens. At bomber altitude, Adair levels and lines up on right formation lead, range 300 yards. He fires. Tracers converge on right engine. Ha-101 explodes in fireball. Wingman brakes to avoid collision. Adair skids left rudder. Fires at second bomber. Rounds punch through thin fuselage. Ki-21 lacks crew armor, self-sealing tanks. Designed 1936, obsolete by 1943 standards, still carries 2,250 pounds of bombs. Enough to gut Dinjan. 12 Oscars now close from 6 o'clock. Fuel gauge shows 162 gallons remaining. Ammunition, 650 rounds. Bombers, 12 miles from target. 4 minutes to release point. Then his engine instruments demand attention. Allison coolant temperature climbs to 230 degrees Fahrenheit. Normal operating range 190 to 210. Red line 250. Liquid-cooled engine circulates coolant through cylinder heads, radiator under fuselage. Combat power above 50 inches, Manifold pressure generates extreme heat. System designed for 20 minutes, sustained maximum. Adair runs full power 11 minutes already. 3 choices emerge: reduce power, cool engine, abandon attack, bail out over jungle, Japanese patrols below, or continue, risk seizure over hostile territory. Sally bombers 10 miles out, still within drop range, formations partially reformed, threat remains. Adair holds throttle full forward. 2 Oscars approach head-on, closing speed 600 miles per hour. Both fire at 500 yards. Adair sees muzzle flashes. 7.7 millimeter tracers walk toward his nose. He returns fire. 50 caliber rounds outrange Japanese weapons. 350 yards. Lead Oscar engine cowling shreds. Fighter shudders. Trails white coolant vapor. Wingman brakes. Adair rolls right. Dives. Coolant hits 240 degrees. Bombers 8 miles out. 2 formations of 6 reform bombing versus 3rd formation scatters. He targets lead group again. 6 Oscars intercept. He dives past at 390 miles per hour. Too fast to follow. At bomber level, he opens fire on lead Sally. Burst hits right wing root. Wing folds upward, tears away. Bomber rolls inverted, spins down. No parachutes. Formation breaks again. Bombers scatter 3 directions. Even if dropped now, bombs spread across jungle miles, not concentrated on runways. Adair pulls up maximum G. Coolant gauge pegs 248 degrees. Engine runs rough. Vibration transmits through stick. Detonation starts in cylinders. Pre-ignition from heat. 10 seconds from failure. Adair climbs to 5,000 feet above the Japanese formation. Airspeed stabilizes at 320 miles per hour. He positions 4,000 feet directly above the lead bomber group. 6 Mitsubishi Ki-21 Sallies fly in 2 tight Vs of 3 aircraft each. Box formation optimizes bombing accuracy. Lead bomber sets pace and heading. Wingmen mirror every jink. Collective bombs fall in 100-yard pattern on Dinjan runways. Distance to target now 10 miles. 8 minutes to release point. Adair selects attack vector. High 6 o'clock approach from south. Sun at 10 o'clock high behind him. Japanese gunners face forward toward Dinjan. Rear aspect blind until last second. He rolls inverted. -1G presses him lightly into seat. Nose drops toward formation. Gravity accelerates P-40. Airspeed 360. 370. Allison manifold pressure holds 54 inches. Dive limit 410 approaching. Range 2 miles, 1.5. Lead bombers maintain course. Gunners scan casually left-right. No high cover check. They expect intercept near target, not 20 miles out. Range 1,000 yards. Adair squeezes trigger. 6.50 caliber Browning cycle at 1,200 rounds per minute. Muzzle velocity 2,900 feet per second. Effective range 800 yards. Tracers arc flat toward lead, Sally left wing. Rounds walk from wing root to engine nacelle. Mitsubishi Ha-101 14-cylinder radial ingests 50 caliber. Engine case ruptures. Avgas ignites. Port propeller windmills uneven. Orange flame erupts. Black smoke streams 50 yards behind. Lead bomber brakes left violently. Formation shatters. Number 2, aircraft banks right to avoid collision. Number 3, dives for separation. Rear Vs scatter independently. 6 bombers now fly individual headings. Bombing accuracy destroyed. Adair pulls up maximum G. 7G crushes chest. Vision grays at edges. Blackout tunnel narrows. He rolls right, levels at 3,000 feet above. Fuel 170 gallons. Ammunition 750 rounds. 9 attacks remaining. 40 Oscar fighters react. Nakajima Ki-43s peel off in pairs from stepped altitudes. First 4 close from 10 o'clock high. Finger 4 formation. Lead Oscar rolls left. Wingman covers high. Textbook Japanese tactic. Adair rolls left into lead Oscar. Nose up 20 degrees. Fires 2-second burst. 400 rounds per gun. Tracers miss high by 10 feet. Oscar brakes right hard. Butterfly flaps deploy. Turn radius shrinks to 150 meters. Wingman slots behind. Adair reverses immediately. Dives to maintain energy. 2 more Oscars dive from 12 o'clock high. 400 yards closing. He climbs left 15 degrees. Fires 1-second burst. 200 rounds. Strikes trailing edge of second Oscar wing. No visible damage. Ammunition counter drops to 700 rounds. He cannot fight turning battle. P-40 weighs 7,000 pounds loaded. Ki-43 empty weight, 4,200 pounds. Lighter aircraft turns tighter. Warhawk bleed speed faster. Energy state critical after high G pull-up. Behind fighters, Sally bombers attempt reform. 3 groups of 6 aircraft maneuver back toward formation. Lead group scatters most. 2 bombers trail smoke from earlier hits. If they reform bombing V, precision returns. Adair rolls out dive heading. Throttle remains full forward. P-40 accelerates to 405 miles per hour. 8 pursuing Oscars fall behind. Ki-43 maximum dive speed 390. Gap opens to 1,000 yards. He levels at bomber altitude, 2,000 feet. Right-hand Sally formation reforms first. 6 aircraft in loose line abreast. Range 300 yards. Adair fires controlled bursts. 10 rounds per gun per bomber. Lead aircraft right engine nacelle shreds. Hay 101 fireball. Wingman collides avoidance brake. Formation fractures again. Fuel gauge reads 162 gallons. Ammunition 650 rounds. Bombers 8 miles from Dinjan. 3 minutes to release altitude. Engine coolant temperature climbs to 230 degrees Fahrenheit. Red line 250. Radiator underslung fuselage ingests dive air. Maximum combat power rated 20 minutes. 11 minutes elapsed. 2 Oscars close head-on. 600 miles per hour closing rate. Both fire 500 yards. 7.7 millimeter tracers walk toward P-40 nose. Adair returns fire. .50 caliber outranges Japanese rifles. 350 yards impact. Lead Oscar cowling sparks. Fighter shudders. Brakes left trailing white coolant vapor. Wingman follows. Adair rolls right. Dives. Coolant temperature 240 degrees. Cylinders approach detonation threshold. Pre-ignition imminent. Bombers 6 miles out. 2 formations partially reformed. Lead versus re-establishing. He rolls inverted again. Negative G dive toward lead formation. Airspeed 410. Dive limit reached. Structural stress maximum. Range 1,000 yards. 6 bombers tighten back to original box. Adair fires. Lead bomber right wing root structural failure. Wing folds upward. Tears free. Ki-21 rolls inverted, spins toward ground. No parachutes observed. Formation scatters 3rd time. Bombers fly 3 separate headings southeast. Even if dropped immediately, bombs disperse across 5 miles jungle. Runway pattern impossible. Field hospital safe. C-47s intact. Hump fuel secure. Adair pulls up maximum G. Coolant pegs 248 degrees. Engine vibration transmits through stick column. Detonation begins. Cylinders pre-ignite. 10 seconds from catastrophic failure. 12 miles from Dinjan. Raid broken. Physics wins first round. 8 Nakajima Ki-43 Oscars dive from 12 o'clock high. Lead element finger 4 formation. Number 1 aircraft rolls left into firing position. Wingman slots high cover. Number 3 trails for pursuit. Number 4 watches 6 o'clock. Textbook Japanese tactic exploits Ki-43 advantages. Ki-43, Oscar empty weight 4,200 pounds. Wing loading 65 pounds per square foot. Powered by Nakajima Hall 115 14-cylinder radial, 1,150 horsepower. Top speed 329 miles per hour at 13,000 feet. Turn radius 150 meters at combat speed. Butterfly combat flaps deploy automatically below 180 miles per hour. Aircraft bleed speed without stall. Sustained turn performance unmatched below 15,000 feet. Adair's P-40N, loaded weight 7,000 pounds. Wing loading 42 pounds per square foot. Allison V1710-81, liquid-cooled V12. 1,240 horsepower at sea level. 378 miles per hour. Maximum below 12,000 feet. Turn radius 280 meters at 250 miles per hour. Heavier airframe bleeds energy 3 times faster in sustained turns. Standard P-40 tactic against Oscar. Never turn fight. Boom and zoom only. Dive from altitude. Shoot. Extend away at maximum speed. Reset high. Repeat. Turning battle equals death. Adair cannot disengage. Sally bombers 7 miles from Dinjan. 2 minutes to drop altitude. He must maintain pressure, scatter formations permanently. Accept fighter engagement. Lead Oscar closes to 300 yards. 7.7 millimeter Type 89 machine guns fire. Muzzle velocity 2,400 feet per second. Effective range 400 yards. Tracers walk toward P-40 canopy. Adair rolls left. Rounds shred right wing trailing edge. Fabric tears. 2 structural spars visible through holes. He fires back. 2-second burst. 300 rounds total. 50 caliber rounds strike Oscar fuselage behind cockpit. No visible effect. Japanese pilot brakes right hard. Turn radius contracts to 120 meters. Wingman follows inside turn. Adair reverses immediately. Dive angle 30 degrees. Airspeed climbs to 390 miles per hour. Energy critical. Second Oscar element closes from 2 o'clock high, 400 yards. He pulls into climbing left turn. Fires 1-second burst. Strikes Oscar wing leading edge. Enemy breaks away. Ammunition counter reads 550 rounds. 8 attacks remaining. Fuel 158 gallons. Coolant temperature 252 degrees Fahrenheit. Red line exceeded. Cylinders pre-ignite erratically. Engine power fluctuates ±5%. 6 more Oscars join from 4 o'clock level. 12 total engaged. Adair rolls right, dives steeper. 410 miles per hour indicated. P-40 structural limit reached. Airframe groans through stick column. Pursuing Oscars fall back. Ki-43 dive limit 390 miles per hour. 1,000-yard gap opens. Below, Sally bombers scatter across 5 miles frontage. No formation larger than 3 aircraft. Individual jinking. Bomb release impossible. Runway pattern destroyed. Field hospital safe. C-47 transports untouched. Adair levels at 1,500 feet. Right-hand bomber group partially reforms. 4 aircraft line abreast, range 600 yards. He closes to 300, fires controlled bursts. 10 rounds per gun per bomber. Lead Sally right engine nacelle ruptures. Aircraft trails white smoke, breaks southeast. Formation shatters again. 4 Oscars bounce immediately from 6 o'clock high. Closing speed 550 miles per hour. Adair sees muzzle flashes. Rolls left hard. 7.7 millimeter rounds rake fuselage. 1 strikes behind instrument panel. Electrical smoke fills cockpit. Circuit breakers pop. Navigation lights extinguish. He pulls into maximum G turn. 6G sustained. Vision tunnels. Blackout edges close. P-40 bleed speed to 220 miles per hour. Turn radius expands. Lead Oscar closes inside. Adair breaks into steep dive. 385 miles per hour. Gap reopens. Coolant temperature 256 degrees. Oil pressure 40 pounds per square inch. Normal operating range 55 to 70. Below 40, connecting rods score cylinder walls. 5 minutes remaining before catastrophic failure. Sally bombers 5 miles from target. Individual aircraft jinking southeast toward Burma. No bombing runs developing. Raid disruption maximum effect. 10 Oscars now orbit at 2,000 feet above. Japanese pilots reassess. American fighter damaged but aggressive. Engine trails smoke. Still attacks bombers. No bailout observed. They hold fire. Conserve ammunition. Adair climbs to 3,000 feet. Airspeed 280 miles per hour. Right wing damage causes slight roll tendency. Corrects with trim tab. Fuel 150 gallons. Ammunition 480 rounds. Lead Oscar pair dives from 10 o'clock. 300 yards closing. Adair rolls right toward attackers. Head-on pass. Both aircraft fire simultaneously. 7.7 tracers flash past canopy. 50 caliber rounds converge on lead Oscar engine cowling. Ha-115 radial sheds cowling panels. Fighter trails heavy black smoke, brakes violently left. Wingman overshoots, stalls briefly. Adair rolls behind, fires 1 second burst, strikes fuselage spine, enemy aircraft shudders, dives away trailing debris. Immediate bounce from starboard, 3 Oscars from 3 o'clock level, 400 yards. Adair dives right, 395 miles per hour. Pursuers cannot follow. Gap extends to 1,500 yards. Engine vibration increases. Oil pressure 35 pounds per square inch. Coolant gauge pegged past redline. Needle bent from overtravel. Cockpit temperature climbs to 110 degrees Fahrenheit. Sweat stings eyes. Sally bombers 4 miles out. Scattered across 8 miles frontage. Individual aircraft maximum separation. Bomb load useless. Dinjan Airfield secure. Adair pulls up final climb. 5,000 feet altitude. 12 Oscars circle at 7,000 feet. Japanese formation leader signals reform. Fighters consolidate high cover. Bombers abandoned to fate. P-40 engine stumbles. Momentary power loss. Pre-ignition accelerates. Cylinders score heavily. Oil pressure 28 pounds per square inch. 3 minutes remaining before seizure, 12 miles from Lulu Base. Physics holds for now. Oil pressure drops to 20 pounds per square inch. Allison V-1710 cylinder walls score heavily. Connecting rods operate dry. Friction generates heat. Heat causes metal expansion. Tolerances close. Seizure imminent. 2 minutes remaining before engine failure. Coolant temperature gauge needle melted off scale. Radiator passages clogged with scale. Circulation stops. Cylinder heads glow red internally. Pre-ignition constant. Power output fluctuates between 40 and 60%. Right wing bullet damage worsens. 7 entry holes, 2 exit holes. Right aileron control rod severed. Aileron floats free to full down deflection. Aircraft rolls right continuously without correction. Elevator control cable damaged. Horizontal stabilizer trim fixed nose down 5 degrees. Aircraft pitches down without back pressure. Altitude 3,000 feet. Airspeed 210 miles per hour. 12 Oscars orbit at 6,000 feet. Japanese pilots watch. They conserve ammunition. American fighter destruction inevitable. Adair faces 3 options. First, bail out. 8,000 feet over Assam jungle. Japanese ground patrols operate below. Capture probability high. Second, force land gear up in clearing. Fuel tanks rupture on impact. Fire probable. Third, attempt return to Naguli. 43 miles southwest. 17 minutes flight time required. Engine survival improbable. He selects third option. Physics offers one remaining weapon. Damaged controls create lethal right roll and nose-down pitch right side up. Invert aircraft. Physics reverses. At 2,800 feet, Adair rolls P-40 fully inverted. -1G presses body against shoulder straps. Blood rushes to head. Vision reddens at edges. Fuel system designed for +G. Fuel starvation begins immediately. Engine stumbles. Damaged right aileron now deflects upward relative to inverted flight. Forces right wing up instead of down. Stuck elevator trim pushes tail down, raises nose. Aircraft responds. Descent rate slows from 1,000 feet per minute to 400. Airspeed stabilizes at 140 miles per hour. Climb rate 50 feet per minute established. Inverted flight converts fatal damage into marginal control. Engine coughs from fuel starvation. Adair rolls right side up after 30 seconds. Damaged controls immediately resume right roll, nose down pitch. Descent restarts at 800 feet per minute. He loses 300 feet altitude. At 2,200 feet, he rolls inverted again. Nose rises. Climb resumes. Fuel feeds briefly before starvation. Pattern emerges. Invert to climb. Roll upright to feed fuel. Repeat cycle. 6 orbiting Oscars witness impossible maneuver. American P-40 alternates inverted upright every 40 seconds. Refuses to crash. Japanese formation leader waggles wings. Number 2, aircraft dives to investigate. Adair spots approaching Oscar during upright descent phase. Altitude 1,500 feet. Rolls inverted toward attacker. Nose rises. Oscar breaks away at 300 yards. Japanese pilot signals wingman. Formation climbs back to 6,000 feet. Inverted climb phase ends. Fuel starvation returns. Adair rolls upright at 1,200 feet. Descent resumes. Right wing drop accelerates roll rate. He counters with heavy left stick pressure. Nose down trim increases descent to 1,000 feet per minute. Pattern repeats. Invert at 800 feet. Climb 200 feet to 1,000. Roll upright. Descend 300 feet. Repeat. Altitude holds between 600 and 1,000 feet above jungle. Oil pressure 8 pounds per square inch. Crankshaft bearing score. Vibration severe through airframe. Propeller windmills unevenly. Effective power 20%. Airspeed 160 miles per hour. Naguli Airfield 21 miles distant. 11 minutes remaining if pattern holds. Cockpit fills with electrical smoke. Bullets severed wiring behind instrument panel. Carbon monoxide enters cabin. Vision tunnels. Gray edges close from periphery. Adair recognizes CO poisoning symptoms. 14 minutes exposure at increasing concentration. Blood saturation critical. Brain oxygen starvation imminent. Consciousness loss in 5 minutes. Fuel gauge reads 83 gallons. Sufficient for 20 minutes at current power. Oil pressure 0. Needle pegs bottom scale. Connecting rods operate metal to metal. Engine runs on residual oil film and momentum. Japanese Oscars reform at 8,000 feet. Formation leader signals southeast heading. Escorted bombers already fled. Raid aborted 15 miles short of Dinjan. They abandon damaged American fighter to mechanical failure. Adair completes 8th invert upright cycle. Altitude 900 feet. Naguli runway visible 11 miles ahead. Runway threshold, 3,000 feet elevation change required. Current climb rate insufficient. New problem emerges. Landing gear hydraulic. Engine-driven pump generates 1,000 pounds per square inch. Current engine output 20%. Hydraulic pressure 200 pounds maximum. Gear remains locked up. Backup manual pump requires 28 strokes. Both hands needed for effective pressure. Releasing stick causes immediate uncontrolled roll. Altitude 700 feet. Adair reaches behind seat. Releases lap belt. Wraps belt around control stick. Loops through seat frame mount. Cinches tight. Makeshift stick rigging holds neutral position approximately. Both hands free. Grabs manual pump handle, left cockpit sidewall. Pumps hard. Stroke 1. Stroke 2. Stroke 3. Hydraulic pressure builds slowly. Stroke 10. 15. Stroke 23. Resistance increases. Stroke 28. Thunk sounds from beneath fuselage. Left main gear extends, locks. Right main gear follows. 3 seconds later, gear doors close, drag increases dramatically, airspeed drops from 160 to 135 miles per hour. Stall speed 120. Margin 3%. Engine oil pressure 0.9 minutes. Crankshaft should seize. Allison runs defying mechanical limits. Nagali runway 7 miles ahead. 3 minutes flight time. Vision grays further. Carbon monoxide affects brain function. Peripheral vision gone. Tunnel narrows to 30 degrees. Hands shake on stick. CO poisoning plus negative G cumulative effect. Nagali tower spots P-40. Smoke trails from cowling. Erratic flight path. Gear down. Tower assumes normal approach imminent. Ground crew prepares fire equipment. Adair faces final calculation. Flaps, also hydraulic. Insufficient pressure for gear and flaps simultaneously. Flaps remain up. Landing speed increases from 90 to 120 miles per hour. Runway roll triples to 3,000 feet. Nagali runway 4,000 feet available. Margin 1,000 feet. 2 miles from threshold. Engine power drops to 10%. Propeller barely turns. P-40 becomes glider. Glide ratio 8:1 normal. Battle damage reduces to 6:1. 2,000 feet altitude yields 12,000 feet ground distance. Runway 2 miles distant, insufficient. Final physics weapon remains inverted glide. At specific angle of attack, inverted wings generate less drag than upright configuration. Range extends. At 1,800 feet, 1 mile from runway, Adair rolls fully inverted. -1 G returns. Blood rushes to head. Vision reds completely. Descent rate drops to 500 feet per minute. Airspeed holds 125. Nagali tower watches inverted. P-40 approach gear extended. Crew Chief Robert Martinez grabs binoculars. Identifies smoke. Battle damage. Assumes captured Japanese pilot. Runs to 50 caliber machine gun position. 3 ground crew follow. Adair reaches 400 feet altitude. Half mile from threshold. Consciousness fades. 20 seconds remaining. Rolls upright at 200 feet. Damaged controls resume right roll, nose down pitch. Counters with maximum left stick. Wings level barely. Nose high attitude. Runway threshold approaches. Martinez gun crew tracks aircraft. 3 seconds to threshold decision. Holds fire. P-40 crosses threshold 90 feet altitude, descends final 90 feet in 4 seconds. Main gear impacts concrete at 7 G. Struts compress fully. Tail wheel slams down. Right main gear collapses. Right wing tip digs runway. Aircraft ground loops right 180 degrees. Skids backward 200 feet. Stops. Smoke billows from engine compartment. Fire crews race forward. Adair motionless in cockpit 12 seconds. Releases shoulder straps. Climbs onto right wing. Legs buckle. Catches wing root. Ground crew assists to ground. Martinez opens engine cowling. Allison destroyed. Piston seized. Crankshaft warped. Oil pan ruptured. Coolant evaporated. Lulu Belle never flies again. Dinjan Airfield secure. 0 bombs dropped. 14 C-47s operational. Field hospital intact. Hump fuel stocks preserved. 1 P-40 versus 64 Japanese aircraft. Physics defeats numbers. Naguli runway threshold 1 mile ahead. Altitude 400 feet. P-40 airspeed 125 miles per hour. Flaps up. Landing speed required 120 miles per hour. Stall speed 120. No margin for error. Gear extended drag reduces climb performance. Engine produces 8% power. Propeller windmills at 1500 RPM. Glide ratio 6:1. Insufficient altitude for normal approach. Adair rolls fully inverted at 350 feet. -1 G returns. Vision fully red. Carbon monoxide poisoning reaches critical blood saturation. Consciousness loss imminent. Inverted glide reduces descent rate to 400 feet per minute versus 700 upright. Naguli Tower operators track inverted P-40 through binoculars. Gear extended upside down. Smoke pouring from engine cowling. Crew Chief Technical Sergeant Robert Martinez grabs .50 caliber machine gun. 3 ground crew follow. They assume Japanese pilot and captured American aircraft. Range to threshold half mile. Altitude 200 feet. Adair rolls upright at runway centerline. Damaged right aileron immediately deflects full down. Aircraft rolls right violently. He applies maximum left stick. Wings level after 3 seconds. Nose down elevator trim forces forward stick pressure with left hand. Runway threshold approaches at 90 feet altitude. Descent angle 12 degrees. Touchdown speed 122 miles per hour. Runway 4,000 feet available. 3,000 required minimum. Martinez gun traverses target. 3 seconds to threshold crossing. Aircraft shows battle damage, heavy smoke, erratic path. Martinez holds fire. Main gear crosses threshold at 88 feet. P-40 drops final 88 feet in 3.8 seconds. Impact velocity 125 miles per hour. 7.2 G vertical component. Main gear struts compress fully. Right main gear collapses immediately. Right wing tip strikes concrete at 90 miles per hour. Wing spars fail. Aircraft ground loops right. 180-degree rotation in 4 seconds. Propeller strikes runway. Blades shear. Engine cowling rips open. P-40 skids backward 200 feet. Stops perpendicular to runway centerline. Engine compartment fire erupts. Adair remains motionless 12 seconds. Releases shoulder straps. Stands in cockpit. Legs fail from CO poisoning and G-forces. Catches right wing root. Climbs onto upper surface. Fire crews reach aircraft. Martinez arrives with extinguisher. Opens engine cowling. Allison V-1710 destroyed beyond repair. All 12 pistons seized in scored cylinders. Crankshaft warped 30 degrees. 3 connecting rods welded to crankshaft journals. Oil pan ruptured. Coolant system evaporated dry. Adair walks around aircraft assisted by ground crew. Damage assessment. 16 bullet holes, fuselage. 7 right wing. 4 left wing. Right aileron control cable severed clean. Hydraulic reservoir punctured. 2 electrical bundles burned through behind instrument panel. Dinjan Airfield after action report confirms 0 bombs dropped. 24 Sally bombers aborted 15 miles short. Formations scattered across 12 miles frontage. Individual jinking prevented pattern bombing. 14 C-47 transports operational. Field hospital undamaged. 11 days, Hump fuel intact. Japanese intelligence raid assessment. American fighter intercepted formation 20 miles from target. Heavy damage inflicted on 3 bombers. Formation scattered. Withdrawal ordered to conserve bombers for Burma operations. Fighter pursued, but escaped southeast. Japanese pilots debrief at Rangoon. Lead Oscar pilot reports American P-40 executed impossible maneuvers. Alternated, inverted upright flight, 11 minutes. Refused to crash despite heavy damage. Engine fire observed. Altitude held minimum 600 feet above jungle. Oscar formation, conserved ammunition. American pilot determination exceeded tactical doctrine. Adair receives medical evaluation at Nagule. Flight surgeon measures carboxyhemoglobin saturation 16%. Normal, less than 2%. 14 minutes cockpit smoke exposure. Equivalent 50 cigarettes per hour inhaled directly. Pilot should have lost consciousness after 11 minutes. Adair remained functional through mission completion. Blood oxygen saturation 85%. Normal 95 to 98. Brain function impaired 30% at mission end. Muscle coordination failure imminent. December 16, 1943. 10th Air Force Headquarters interviews Adair. Attack sequence documented. Inverted flight technique recorded. Hydraulic manual pump procedure verified. No prior P-40 combat record matches. Damage extent survived. January 8, 1944. Lieutenant General Joseph Stilwell presents Silver Star to 2nd Lieutenant Philip Adair. Citation reads, "For gallantry in action against enemy forces." December 13, 1943, when Lieutenant Adair, flying alone, engaged and disrupted formation of 64 enemy aircraft attacking Allied installations. Continuing attack despite severe aircraft damage and personal injury, thereby preventing destruction of critical supply facilities vital to China-Burma-India theater operations. Adair flies 95 additional combat missions with 80th Fighter Group. Achieves ace status, 5 confirmed victories. Final mission, July 1944, Downs 2, Ka-43 Oscars, Northern Burma. 80th Fighter Group Burma Banshees destroys 413 Japanese aircraft aerial combat. 147 destroyed ground, 63 pilots killed or missing. Death's head skull insignia becomes CBI theater legend. Curtiss P-40 Warhawk achieves no fame of P-51 Mustang or P-47 Thunderbolt. Slower maximum speed. Limited high-altitude performance. Considered obsolete, 1943. Maximum speed, 378 miles per hour, below 12,000 feet. Service ceiling, 33,000 feet, but ineffective above 15,000. Philip Adair proves aircraft specification secondary. Physics exploited correctly defeats numerical superiority. Engineering improvisation defeats tactical doctrine. One pilot solves aerodynamic equations real-time against 64 aircraft. December 13, 1943, Assam, 1 P-40N Warhawk, 64 Japanese aircraft. Mathematical physics defeats odds 64 to 1. Lulu Belle completes final mission. 1 P-40's inverted physics hack beats 64 zeros. The math adults respect. Like if you solved it, comment your engineering take